Hello, everyone. It's been now about 2 weeks since I released my book, Spine to Wade, on Amazon, Flipkart, Notion Press, and many other websites. I'm very happy to let you know that this book has received tremendous amount of response so far. I think it is basically because the leaders of today are able to relate their leadership styles and the times when they have to take difficult calls and decisions, even while the ground under their own feet was shifting. And this entire thing is quite relatable with what I have written in this book. So, thank you very much, readers. Please keep sending me your feedback. Today, I make an attempt to read a small paragraph from a chapter in Spine to Wade, and the chapter is called Power Games. It's about the politics that we face at the workplace. What does it take to lead when the rules are unwritten, but everyone acts as if they are? Over the last 12 years, I have learned that leadership does not come in sterile environments. It happens in rooms where agendas shift, loyalties fluctuate, and influence moves behind closed doors. I have led two such worlds. One wore uniforms, carried ranks on shoulder, and operated by orders that did not need explanation. The other wore suits, sat in conference rooms, and followed rules that no one spoke about. As a commanding officer in the army, clarity was a fundamental part of the role. The command was not negotiable. Rank determined the authority, and actions followed a defined structure. However, when I moved into the corporate world, leading teams in technology, operations, and enterprise solutions, I had to establish clarity on my own. No one handed it to me. Influence did not come from a title, it was built through alliances, perception, and subtle power of ambiguity. In that ambiguous space, I recognized a familiar pattern. Leadership in both the military and the corporate sectors was never separate from politics. The real difference was not whether politics was involved, it always was, but how each leader chose to handle it. As time went on, I began to accept the underlying politics and learned to decipher their meanings. Every cross functional project was a microcosm of complex operation where alignment was not a given. Every meeting revealed subtle clues: who spoke up, who backed down, who stayed quiet, and who led the room without needing to be the loudest. I did not learn this from a leadership manual. I discovered it in moments that made me question my own instincts. A peer who took credit for a solution I had worked hard on, a missed promotion that was more about connections than merit, a leader who praised integrity in public but rewarded convenience behind the scenes. These were not system failures, they were reminders that people shape the systems and they carry their ambitions into every room. But throughout it all, I never saw power games as obstacle to leadership. I viewed them as the environment in which leadership must operate. You cannot lead outside of politics. You lead through it. The question is not whether you get involved, but how you stay grounded while involved. This is the ground I have walked on, the same ground I continue to walk on. Each lesson I learned here did not come from a theory. It stemmed from mistakes, tough decisions, and small choices that affected results when nobody noticed. Every strategy I share is based on that same truth. Influence is often subtle. Integrity reveals itself over time, not instantly. Leadership is not above politics, it exists within it. The patterns are there, just like the choices are. As we move forward, the stories will reveal what those choices have been and why they have brought me where I am. To read and find about how to navigate through politics, please read this chapter called Power Games in my book called Spine to Weight.